So sleep apnea is a disorder which is prevalent in about 10% of the Indian population, and recently we have a lot of interest on this disease because of the death of one of the renowned singers, Bappi Lahiri, who died while in sleep because of this sleep apnea problem. So what exactly it is basically a choking which occurs when the person is sleeping. His neck gets choked because of lot of fat inside the neck, and then the airway which is there in the neck, it gets choked because of all this fat. So what happens when a person is awake, the muscles are able to pull the fat away from the airway so that the airway remains open. But when a person goes to sleep, because the muscles are relaxed and the choking is there because all the fat gets accumulated and the airway gets choked. So this is the basic physiology behind sleep apnea, and because it is due to fat, so it is more commonly seen in patients of obesity because it is intrinsically related to the amount of neck fat and the body fat. So whenever a person is obese, this is disease which is called as obesity hypoventilation syndrome. The causes of sleep apnea are whenever there is any cause which can choke the airway, because it can be mostly due to fat. Whenever there is lot of body fat and neck fat, the choking of the airway is there. The other causes of choking can be enlarged tonsils, can be enlarged adenoids in children, can be deviated nasal septum, जिसको हम कहते हैं नाक की हड्डी जैसे बढ़ गई. That is also one of the cause where the choking of the airway occurs. But the most important cause is due to excess fat, and the obese patients are more prone to develop this disease. The persons of obstructive sleep apnea, basically they have loss of good quality sleep in the night. Even though they are lying down, they are snoring and they are sleeping. So snoring is the most important symptom that the patient may not complain so much, but the spouse complains at large. So snoring is one of the most important symptoms. Then because the quality of sleep is so poor, the patient is usually sleeping the next day. Daytime sleepiness the patient is having all the time. Some of the patients, they come in when they, even while driving car, they are going to sleep. So snoring and daytime sleepiness are the most common symptoms when a patient comes to us and reports to us. Treatment is possible, and for that we have to do a sleep study to see the extent of the problem and exactly where the choking is occurring. If the choking is occurring at a structural level, maybe it's a sinus problem or maybe it's a large tonsil, then surgical correction can be done. But if it's due to excessive fat, then in the sleep study we assess whether the CPAP machine, which is commonly prescribed for such patients, whether this machine helps. And if it helps, then we get a CPAP machine to the patient who have a so comfortable night after using a CPAP machine that the next day they are fully active, and then they are able to do their daily activities, and subsequently as they become active, they tend to lose weight also. So ultimately weight reduction helps in getting over the disease as well. Sleep apnea even can cause diabetes, hypertension. It can cause other problems like heart attacks and strokes. And why this occurs? Because the effect of sleep for the body is not adequate. The patient is sleeping, but because the oxygen is not growing inside the body because of the airway getting choked, the organs are not resting. So the sleep is not effective for the patient. So neither the heart is resting, neither the brain is resting, neither any organ is resting. So when the rest is not adequate, obviously the organs get damaged over a prolonged period of time. They can have strokes, they can have heart attacks, diabetes, hypertension, and what all problems are related to sleep apnea. So basically it's what we call as a root cause for various other diseases.